the Atlantic, and they made the one that we see now.
She still has chains on her leg, though.
Does she?
There's a chain that comes. Are we on? Oh, what's up? We're talking asking about the Statue of Liberty and how we believe it was a sister girl because of the pearls and stuff, and like the original one was in chains, and they sent it back, so it had to be a sister girl. The French were saying, here's what freedom looks to us from what you're showing us. You can do what you want, but look, you're in chains. So that was funny, because the question
France
was,
did that, man. France made the Statue of Liberty, if I'm not mistaken, and they flew it over here.
They were just mad because they got the fuck kicked out of here and shit. We gave them New Orleans here. You can keep that.
Hey man, just so we understand where we at, like I just heard the other night that this other like really prolific thinker and speaker, whatever, made a point that we've been saying on the show for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we literally, I forgot my thought just that quick. It left me.
Some.
Oh yes. At the time America was founded, the entire world was governed by a monarch.
Right.
That's how. And
this would change the game to everybody over here.
We changed the
what
game.
What the fuck they doing over there? Shit,
You know what I mean?
Like what do you mean you're running things without a king? You gotta have a king. No, you don't.
You know what I mean?
We all get a chance to run this shit.
Americans changed the game for real, man.
Sure
and they did it. And when we think about our country like that, you got to give them credit. When they did it, the standing army were the citizens, who mostly were farmers,
right? And who could become leader of this shit.
Sure,
because any one of y'all could become this shit,
But before they even before they got there, the people that's gonna secure your liberty are farmers,
right?
They're not warriors. You know what I mean? They're not, army members and all that kind of stuff.
You become a warrior though when you think somebody's gonna take your shit though.
Hey man, that's it. Okay.
So now you're gonna be like, oh, I'll fight for my shit.
But you're going up against Britain.
Right. Hey, I want this shit. They're saying
at the height of Britain's, damn near the height of Britain's influence in the world.
That's how much they wanted that shit, man.
They went against Britain.
Yep. They knew they were fighting an army, a well-trained army, but they didn't give a fuck.
It's equivalent to if somebody said, hey, man, Vietnam versus America.
Well, they already whooped our ass once. We're good.
Absolutely.
That's our one loss.
Absolutely. That's the point I'm making.
They don't see
like that's a suicide mission.
Right.
To think that this small country could even contend with America.
You would think they would have just crushed them.
You know what I mean?
Like we did Iraq and shit.
We got independence in this country, obtained through farmers.
The people and shit. I'm not trying to lose this shit. I want this shit, and I'm not trying to pay all that money you're making me pay. These mugs ain't charging me that much, so I'll fight for that shit. And they fought. And that's why the British lost, because they were fighting guerrilla warfare, and the British were trying to still fight normal warfare.
Is that what happened?
I think so. Part of it. But they weren't used to that. These farmers, they're not gonna go out there and stand in front of them with this shit they had. They got to hide and do ambushes and shit.
They was doing something right. We only won up until I think what was it when he crossed the Potomac or something like that. Man, George Washington lost all of his battles.
Pretty much until that last one, right?
All of them. So I mean, they was looking kind of bad on the home front for a minute.
Right.
The farmers turned this stuff around, man.
They wanted their shit.
Something about the actual history of the national anthem, how we
absolutely,
and then hearing what's his name, Scott, how he was watching, the one who actually wrote the national anthem.
Yes,
and how he was on the English ship or whatever, and they was like, hey, you got our prisoners, we have some of yours. We'll negotiate one by one to release, but that won't matter because you see that flag over there on that fort, on that rampart, it won't be there tomorrow. Lower that shit and come back to, and that way England takes over all these fucking colonies that y'all have. And those motherfuckers fought, and it was like how the people just kind of held the flag up and it's still there and all that shit. I'm like, wow. And I sung this shit as a kid, but I never really understood it.
Yeah, I always figured it was some shit they did way back in the day, and here we are.
That came to a testament of like, no, we are not bound to your shit. And look at us now, the most powerful country in the fucking world.
Right. Anyways, though, that was the conversation we were having off camera and just flowed into camera. So thank y'all for being here. Much love for your support. I'm Brother Los.
I'm Brother Ron.
I'm Brother Patriot Black Hand.
Brother Rampart in the back.
The new Uncle Ruckus.
You Uncle Ruckus. You know, he wrote the jam. So, anyways, yeah, always thank you for being here. Hit that like, share, and make sure you share too. So now, like, share, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you do subscribe so that and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when we're on. And if those of you that watch Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and pretty soon, hopefully, we'll be back to through the week. And as always, every other Saturday, the Black Hands Arcade. So make sure y'all continue tuning in. Where's our sponsors? Is it over here? Yep. We should know.
By heart, right?
Right. Anyways, yeah, so starting off with bang. Radio station online. They play our podcast on Sundays at 7 p.m. You can go watch past episodes of us, and then they do a bunch of other stuff. They music, like I said, the Chop In Screw. They do that. They got other podcasts with other local artists from Louisiana. So go check that out, and then or just listen to the music as you're driving along, or in your ear, however you listen to music. Check them out, see if you like it. If you're from Houston, you probably will love it because they're from here too. So make sure you check them out. www.bangin832.com. And then we got Tamia's Touch of Care Massage Therapy. To get with life, get a massage. Touch my body. www.tamiaanderson.com. To get with life, get a massage. Make sure y'all check her out. Veteran-owned, Black-owned. She's a personal trainer also, so I always say, she get you all she get you all tightened up, and then she'll stretch you out. So make sure y'all check her out.
I'm gonna work on a remix for her.
Yes, we're gonna do the remix of it. Then we got the Vibe Black Marketplace, vendor market here at the Shrine of the Black Madonna every first and third Saturday of the month, from 12 to 6. You go to www.thebyblackmarketplace.com. And that's where if you want to be a vendor and you get a hold of them there. If not, you can just go down there. It's free to the public. Go down there and buy some stuff. Go do some yoga classes. Learn some Black history. Eat some of the food Absolutely. They got. They got a lot of different stuff that they do there. So go check them out. And then that's not all that the Shrine does. They do a lot of other stuff too. So make sure y'all go check that out. And that's at 5309 MLK Boulevard right here in Houston, Texas. It really is on MLK. And then we got Puff Pass It, CBD and more.
Yes.
And that's at 4130 and a half Cavalcade here in Houston, Texas, 77026. Owner Tanya Ashley.
What's up, Tanya? What's happening?
Yeah, what's up? We're gonna do a TGIF from there. We're gonna come live from Puff Pass It, so we'll let everybody know. So hopefully y'all can come and check this out. But you can get a hold of them at at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Puff Pass It, CBD and more. They're even on Yelp, Puff Pass It, CBD and more, and they got a website, Puff Pass It 20.wixx.com, my site, and it'll take you to her site, and you can see as you see in the picture there. So she got a lot of shit up in there, nice little place. It's set up real nice. Them caramels were good, yeah, they were good. They were real good, yeah. Sure enough, that's why she didn't have no more. Mom be eating them up. Right. And then you got us, of course, www.thedailysmoke.com, THA, and that's where you'll find out everything about us. Our staff, our upcoming episodes.
Absolutely.
Where you can fill out the form to come on the show or bring a topic to us.
Right.
Just go to that. Have you been experienced? Because this truly is an experience when you come here, and you just let us know what you want to do, and then we'll, Brother Ron will contact you. Absolutely. And we'll set you up.
Absolutely.
So, and you can be on the show, like we said. This is the People's Podcast. This is what we're trying to. This is our goal for this year, to get more subscribers and get more of you to come on the show and take advantage of what we're giving you. We're giving you a platform to say what the fuck you got to say. So come say what you got to say. Bring something to us. What do you want to learn? Maybe we'll come learn something. If you call in, we might all learn something. Who knows?
I mean, like, what do you Like, what is it that you don't make it hard, y'all? Like,
Right.
these the kind of guests we want. Think about it this way. Like, you may say, well, what would I talk about with them on the show? Well, what are you interested in life?
We talk about what you want to talk
You
about.
know, like, what has your attention? Is it cooking? All right, cool. Is it Siamese cats? All right, cool. We'll talk about that. Come to the show, talk to us about it. You know
Just
what I
talk
mean?
about it. Why you
Whatever
love
the
them
case
so
may
much,
be,
shit like that.
What's your, like, I hope you have a passion in your life, to be honest with you.
Right.
That's worth talking about.
Right.
I don't care who you are. I hope you have a passion
Right.
that you believe in something enough where you would be willing to talk to other people about it. Come talk to us about it. We would love to hear. We want to learn.
See if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to you, come let us know, and then we could all together. You know, like I said, sometimes I hear people say shit. I'm like, man, I ain't even thought of it.
You know what I mean?
Like, that's a whole thing. I got to put that in the picture that I have already, and now that widens my view of the whole situation. So. Yeah, so it's a learning experience.
Even if we was talking about farmers earlier.
Right.
If you really like growing stuff organically, you know, and you like to consume what you eat, you know, or whatever you grow, like, and you find that interesting, come talk to us about it.
You know, and that's that's really interesting because you're going to teach the people, our viewers, how to farm for themselves.
Absolutely.
You know,
you obviously believe in it. You doing it.
Come do it. Come let us know what you do. You know.
You doing it. That's what we want. You know. All right, cool.
We had Mike from the cheesecake. That's what he liked doing.
Up, Big Mike?
He brought it to us. He showed us what it was.
What's
that shit
up,
was
Big
the bomb.
Mike?
And this is what he does for a living. So you know, he's an entrepreneur now. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff we want. If you have a business already and you want us to you can come on and let us know what you're about. We're more than happy to have you. Just hit that. Have you ever been experienced? Fill that out. Brother Ron will contact you and we'll set you up when we're coming. And that's like I said, that's our goal for this year, to get more guests on, to get more topics from you, because we keep saying this is your podcast. Well, you gotta let us know what you want to talk about, and then we can go from there. You know,
whatever that is.
Right. You know, you don't have to come on if you want to. Yes, you can come on and you'll open the conversation. It's your topic.
Case in point, man. Think about the diversity of guests we've had on the show. Just think about the sheer diversity.
Right.
We had, you know, I'm just throwing names out there off the top of my head. We had the market of Angel Burns, who was promoting a healthy lifestyle.
Right.
And her brand of clothing,
right.
You know, fitness clothing. Okay.
Right.
And we talked about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
I love hearing their stories. Man.
Absolutely.
The way they tell
you know what, I mean?
What made them say, you know what, I'm done with this corporate shit. I'm gonna go do this now.
You got people, let's say like the sister, what's her name with the hat? With the hat, man. She does poetry. Karma the poet.
Karma the poet.
Just like Karma the poet, you know, was on the show. You know, she's on multiple times, as a matter of fact.
Right.
And we disagreed in certain areas, but also had a chance to really learn a different point of view.
Right.
You know,
that's what this is all about.
That's what it's all about. We had Queen
Open your mind a little bit. Right. I mean, to hear what she had to say and how she believes in us, that was like, wow, really? Like, thank you. You know, so and she opened up. Everybody opens up. There's no reason to. Yeah. Plus, Dr. O. We had her on.
Prayers go out to you, Dr. O. I just understood that you were admitted to the hospital again for the.
He got the pneumonia again.
I want to say pneumonia. I think it is, right? Man.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, Dr. O, you are in our prayers. God be with you. We love you and we miss you. I'm gonna start blowing up your phone again, checking on you again.
Right. So
we got the unlimited plan.
So be ready.
Let me check on you.
Go get some cards.
You know,
that was
love our family. You know what I mean?
You know, make sure. And she was on, and we learned from her.
Absolutely.
The other one, Osbeck.
Dr. Lisa Osbeck, a former professor of mine. Right. She's always my teacher. You know. Right.
Yeah,
man. So I think
the diversity is nice.
I mean, and all of this is on. If you guys want Bleak Haven comic books, you know, authors and inventors.
Right.
Yes, man. Yeah. Stand for the silent. You know,
that was my favorite right there. That was our first one that we got to meet somebody and learn something. Yeah, when I learned that, man, that shit fucked with me. I'm like, oh no, we got to talk about this right here.
Good shot on your behalf, recognizing that, bro. That's really big.
That don't make no damn sense. Like, it was Amy who said this be good for the show. I'm like, you know what? That really would be. And so we appreciate. Hey, Stan, if you're out there listening, thank you so much. We hope that you're continuing to do what you do. We know you're continuing to do it because you said until you're gone, this is what you're going to do. So keep going. We keep supporting you, man. So
bless you, bro.
I tell anybody, when anybody wants to hear it, I tell them, yo, reach out to this man.
Absolutely.
He'll come to you. You don't have to pay for none. All you got to do is ask him to come to teach these kids these things. He'll come.
You know what this show has done for me? It's really renewed my faith in the human spirit.
Right.
It has. This show, not something that I read.
Right.
Not I went and saw something. Like this show.
Right.
The
Dr. Monique with the foster kids and the
Dr. Monique, you understand?
Shit like that. Yeah.
This show really has renewed my faith in man. Because see, when you see all the bad news all the time,
I know.
You know what I mean?
It makes it seem like we ain't really. I mean, we ain't no good, but
we always
there's some
bad.
good. There's some good in us.
There's some. Really you know what I'm saying? And when you get to see that good, like look at my cousin and her husband. You know what I mean? They was on the show.
That's right.
They did their own book, I believe.
Right.
You know, they had their own belief system behind that.
Right.
Like, wow, I never saw this side of my cousin. Professor J,
he was doing his books with the kids. He was urbanizing the stories, and it was pretty cool. So
I got faith. I got faith in the human spirit.
Right.
I really do. Yeah. I got faith in the human spirit.
And hey, big props to every one of them. Hopefully, you get to wherever it is you're trying to get to.
Absolutely.
And thank y'all for sharing that with us and with our viewers. So yeah, that we want more of that this year. This is what our plan for this year is, to get more of you to come on, to realize that this is your podcast, not ours. We're just here to give you where you can sit and be comfortable. You don't have to do all this other shit. You don't need your own black hand and shit. You don't need cameras. You just come here and chill with us.
Think about it, Los, man. Like, when we doing this, then, you and I and Bobby and John are trying to figure out how we're going to go forward. And then Tiffany.
She come along.
That just right in our lap.
Right, that was something.
We had no idea we were going to be blessed to have her as a part of our organization, our team, our vision.
And that all comes from Danessa.
Yep. And Danessa.
And then bam,
Danessa's with us too.
Right.
Not somebody that admires, but with us.
Right. And that's all about wellness all the way around.
Absolutely, man. I love our show, y'all.
We have the ones that are already doing their financial wellness, and then Danessa rounds us all off. Like she said, we built a real nice community.
Yeah, we have, man.
It's really nice. I've enjoyed
some
the
of our viewers.
Right.
We have a community of viewers now. We're small in number, but even then, you could see some of our viewers talking back and forth.
Right.
With each other during
we
the
love
episode.
that shit when they do
we
that.
Love that, man.
Keep talking to us.
Please.
Let us know. Like I said, it's your podcast.
Please.
Let us know what you want to hear.
Absolutely. And if for no other reason, if you feel the inclination to turn it off. Oh, see, that says you live now with Live Shot.
No, I just chatted on. I put up welcome everyone.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, my bad. I got you. My bad.
We don't want to hear from you. Yeah, hit that like, hit that like, hit that like, hit that like. Hell yeah. Make sure y'all hit that like and share. Share with all your friends.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, wherever you got social media, share our content. All you got to do is just send one of our things to them and let that circulate, because we're really trying to grow. We're trying to get people out there like you, especially you that's been with us all along.
Absolutely.
Y'all should be here. Y'all should be here. Y'all should come here. Miss Pierce, Mama, Esther, Danny. And hey, Dan, if you're watching, hope you keep that recovery, man. I still expect him sitting here with us one day. So so I'm gonna manifest that. So you're gonna be here one day, all well and everything.
You know what? Earlier today, man, there's how you come across people, like you meet someone because you knew someone. Mm-hmm. That happened to me a number of years ago. I can't even remember how long ago it's been a minute, but Randy is a friend of mine that we communicate over Facebook, and Randy's very conservative in his views for the most part. And if you really listen to him, like, even though you may not agree with him, that's because you're seeing the other you. You know what I mean? Like,
he was on with us one time when he
was
talking
about the Ukraine situation. Right. So, like, he had people that, usually when you think of, like, you pull those kind of people to you. I befriended his friend on Facebook, and his friend gave me the best compliment I have. Man, I really mean this. Like, this really, really got me, man. He said, Ron, man, I was checking on him, seeing how he was doing. He said, Ron, man, I'm seeing y'all doing the podcast still. I'm really proud of you. I've watched some of the things you do. I may check you out or what have you. I was like, man, that's cool. I appreciate you, man. He said, but I got to be honest, man. Like, I normally don't talk to people, that I really disagree with like that. And I noticed that even though the things that you were saying I disagree with, I like the way that you present it and where you know what I mean? Like,
At that Captain Howdy.
oh, that's Captain Howdy. That's my brother. We're gonna get him on the show, man.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna get Howdy on the show. We're gonna get him on the show. But he was like, yeah, man, he's like the way that you talk about it, like I feel comfortable that we can have a conversation and disagree.
Right.
Respectful. And respectful. There's no problem there. Like we're bigger than the political positions we hold.
In other words, I'm not just saying my part. I'm listening to your part too.
Exactly.
I'm really listening to what you're saying, and I'm taking it all in. And like I said, I put your shit in the places that I'm missing so that I can get a better view of what I'm looking at. So yeah, that's but yeah, no, that's the thing about this. Like I said, it's all about you. www.thedailysmoke.com. Have you been experienced? And that'll get you on the show. You don't even have to be on the. You can just come here and sit in the background. Have a drink with us and just chill. And watch the show live. You can do that. We're thinking about doing something like that where we can go live somewhere. If you really want to see us live at a nice venue, let us know and we'll try to set that up. So, because I really want to use that space.
Yeah,
that space for where we had that Kuji Chagalia thing. I like that little theater style. So maybe they can come watch it live, and you could actually, instead of chatting or thumbing or calling, you can just yell it out, and we'll be right there listening to you. So we'll get Black Hand over there with a mic.
I know, right?
What you gotta say? Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I know,
and then keep going back from there. So yeah. So do like we said. This is what you got to do. Come see us.
So, having said that, us speaking of the United States, right? Having said us, speaking of the United States, the last episode that we had, somebody called?
No, I'm just trying to put something up real quick.
The last episode that we did on Monday, we were talking about if Rome, ancient Rome that is similar or dissimilar in what ways were they dissimilar and similar? And
it's pretty even right down the middle.
We was talking about how
it's pretty even right down the middle.
You know 50, what I mean?
50. Yeah, some shit we do, but there's a lot of shit that we different because we have to do it different because, like you said, before we came, all this was the same.
Yeah.
Y'all went under this monarch type shit.
Yeah.
In their case, y'all went under them. If you weren't them, you weren't around.
Yeah.
If you weren't Rome, you weren't them.
Yeah.
You weren't even there. So that's why I think it's a little both,
Like, he was giving it, what if you want to compare it in terms of arts and literature, like he was giving it military, conquest. But, you also have arts and literature. You also have, what would be another area? Oh,
that's the culture. 50, that's a 50 that comes from the similarities.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like culture, because that's what we gauge ourselves on. You know what I mean? Like when we compare ourselves with Rome.
Right.
So the reason we did all of that, y'all, was because I think having that conversation puts us in this situation now. This is not the question. The question I'm about to ask is not something that you could have researched and got the answer to. Tonight's conversation is going to be just an informed conversation. What are your thoughts on it?
Right.
Now that you know it, here's the question. Here's what we're going to talk about, folks. Now that we know whether they are similar and dissimilar, the question is America having a fall?
Like right now?
Right now.
I don't know. I mean, because we're still kicking ass everywhere, so I don't know we're falling. I mean, interior, but not someone else coming to fuck with us. We'd be doing it to ourselves, And it wouldn't fall, it would just be changed to something. Because you can't really change what it is, because if you do what it is the way it's supposed to be, it's a beautiful thing, So why would you change that? So it would only be a slight change. But, so I don't know if there would fall. I mean, like people say, well, every great empire's fallen. Okay, so maybe we'll last 5,000 years. That's how long we'll go before we fall, But right now, I don't think we're going to fall. If we are, it's internal, not external.
Most countries that fall you can pinpoint in the life of that country when something different was going on. You know, somebody calling?
No.
Oh, something different was going on, and it got to a point where that particular group or party they would get so large that they would have a massive overhaul of the government, massive overhaul of citizens, massive overhaul of language.
Right, right.
We just saw that in the 1940s. That's not out of the realm of possibilities. What I'm saying.
Right. No.
Like there can be a different reality overnight.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying that to say that means that
what happened in Ukraine.
Look, you know what I mean?
Overnight,
that can't happen.
Was blowing up.
if that is a reality or a possibility, I should say, of every country having experienced that to some degree, it is possible that at some point in history, we can look back and definitively say, hey, man, this is when this country started declining.
Downfall.
But the reason we can't say we're declining is because we only have 400 years.
Barely, if that.
Of history. You know what I mean? Barely.
You know, America's only about 200-something years old.
But our influence is global, right?
Right.
Okay. So the reason why people are asking the question is because never in American society has there been so many differences.
Right. But that's what it's supposed to be.
Hey, I agree. There should be diversity everywhere. But that's the problem that we're facing right now. And before I say what I'm about to say, I am not saying that I want America to fall.
Of course not.
Or that I want America to go on infinitely. That's
as long as I'm alive.
That is
it
not
can be going on until I'm dead.
Like I'm not saying anything for or against it. I'm just stating a fact. Like America has never had so much civil unrest as it has had easily, I would say, starting around the 60s. Starting.
Right.
To where, like, it's getting the government's attention now. You know what I mean?
Right. Like it did then.
So, there was already a group of people in this society and the society itself that thought one way about a specific group. And, that group, with those groups rather, were marginalized and all that kind of stuff. And you have like these different organizations that rise up and turn things over, but you still stay in America.
Right.
You understand? Like, we still like the racism, but we still want to, we ain't got no problem with this as long as it doesn't, like, oppress me. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Like, y'all not doing this government the way it should be done right now. And that's why you have to eventually get, like, the laws, like regarding racism and sexism and all that. You have to get rid of that.
That's what I said. We're going to change it, but not change it.
But you don't have to
change what we have. Right.
To be able to recognize the rights of women and children.
Right.
That is not necessarily an American thing.
Right.
But now, because you have so many differences, there are groups that are calling for a dissolution of the Constitution because that Constitution allowed them to have the space to be able to even speak out against that Constitution.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? Like, now, it's kind of like, oh, shit.
They try to do that shit on January 6th.
Exactly.
They figure, hey, we don't.
Exactly.
We're not with this government.
But notice, they were against the government, not the institution.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Mm-hmm. Like, I can say right now, okay, look, everybody, let's get together and let's have a cool. And I want to put Bobby as president, and we're getting rid of the Republican and Democrat Party. We're gonna call them the Bobbyites, and that's who you got to vote for. Period. But you were able to do that under the Constitution. Okay, well, cool. You have that right.
Right.
But you're not trying to advocate and say, hey, man, we need to get rid of the concept and the government of America. We just want America to run different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's up, son? Why you say America's toast, man? That's what he's saying. He's thinking we're on the fall.
See, that's the thing. I'd like to know. We don't, and nobody has the right answer because we're watching this thing unfold.
Right.
But one thing you can't deny: there has never been as much civil unrest,
right,
in everyday society of American life.
Right.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I mean, what they're doing really is like, look, these rights that you wrote, you're not following these rules because I should be able to do this. We should be able to do this. I shouldn't have to be marching to do this shit. It should already be right there given to me, no matter the fuck what, So that's why they're doing that. But it is a lot nowadays. But there's so many out there that, and like I said, it's only fair. What you wrote. So you got to be fair. Everybody should have the same exact fucking right. To say what they got to say. That's my favorite one. You can say whatever fuck you want. Just don't threaten nobody. That's one I like.
Well, anytime you have a revolution, you have bloodshed.
That I don't see that happening though. A revolution.
I don't know.
Like with guns and shit. Like
not with guns.
It wouldn't be guns. It'd be.
There's gonna be some blood though.
I mean, there might be some some tiki motherfuckers out there coming out with their guns instead of tiki torches and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be these farmers again.
Mm-hmm.
So we got turned into farmers again, so we can fight.
Well, these farmers now, man. We have a lot more skills now. America,
right.
You know what I mean? We have a lot more skills now,
and they've given us that right to practice that shit.
Like, okay, let's talk about it again. So the question is America on the fall? Follow me on this. So the Constitution guarantees that unless you're, I guess a convicted felon, and something else, I think you can own a gun. So owning a gun is as American as they say, which they say apple pie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like think about what they have
guns.
Like think about what that.
Bear arms.
The right to bear arms, like that's part of the Constitution. Like that's ingrained in your belief system.
Right, because we're already armed.
Most of us, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right,
and if you're proud to be an American, I know I am.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, that's an inherent makeup. You know what I mean?
Right.
Of you.
Right.
You have to you'd have to do a whole lot of self work to be able to get rid of that kind of thinking. Because it's really kind of a violent way of thinking.
Like I can say what I want to say, and I can have a gun.
You know what I mean? Like
a whole bunch of guns.
Hey man, because of that right, that right, we now are faced with even more kids dying. At the end of a gun.
Right. And we've seen a whole lot of that.
Whether you think those numbers are significant or not is not the question.
Right.
The issue is. America is questioning our ability to have certain guns or guns, period.
Because they're trying to take them out.
They really would like to see guns gone altogether.
Right.
Not because they are opposed to guns. They just don't. Just losing these number of kids to guns unnecessarily is just one too many.
There got to be better checks like who gets these guns.
It has to be something different done,
Access to
But
weapons.
What you also have to remember is, if all else fails, and you land here, and you're going to take this over militarily, that's a standing army.
Right, that's not going to happen.
Never.
Not for a long fucking time.
But see how that forces your would-be opponents or invaders to second guess whether they really want to do this.
Right. It's almost as if like us here, we may have our shit, but like what we stand for to fall, like the Roman Empire falling, not for a long fucking time.
I think we got a long time.
The world stays the way it is because our stick keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
Our stick keeps getting bigger, our reach is getting bigger, so it's like we got everything. We'll know before you even think of fucking with us, we'll know. You know,
son, if you could call in, man, we would love to hear what you had to say,
sure
brother
enough.
or sister. You know, I don't know,
I forget who that is.
but we would love to hear from you. Or if you don't want to be on camera or what have you.
I think that was one of Ruck's boys.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
I think we know him
From back in the day, huh?
I think so.
Oh, that's what's up,
Let
man.
us know who you are, man.
Yeah, man. We would love to hear your position on this.
Especially that. Call in.
But we talk about let's talk about some facts, man. Like, yeah, America has one of the strongest economies, and we've sustained this for a very long time. But the dollar's tanking too.
Right. That's
And
the
it's
only
been
thing
doing that for a long
Now,
time.
that's how we would fall if that fucks up. They talked about that before too when they try to change the world money to like Chinese or something. They said, man, that would every bank in America would crumble if that should happen.
So the American dollar is it's nowhere near strong as it used to.
And that's all the Saudis take. They don't take no other money.
Let's be fair. When I lived in England, the pound was 2-1 for the American dollar.
The pound is still worth a lot more now. Even the it's dropped. They used to be worth.
The pound is almost 1-1 now.
Oh shit! Because I
remember almost 1-1.
The euros were going a little bit harder.
The euro is not too far away from it.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm saying it, and the reason I made a note to remember that was because
what's that?
If I myself was born in China, would I be able to accurately call myself Chinese? If a bomb drops over here, what good is economy? Interesting.
Yeah, but who would drop a bomb on us? That's just it.
See, the thing about that is, like, that's
and
the
yes,
difference.
if you're from China, call yourself Chinese.
Yeah, but follow his question. See, he says, the question is, if I myself was born in China, would I be able to accurately call myself Chinese? That's an interesting question. And the reason I say that's interesting is because let's make sure that we understand that China is not only a government, but it's also a culture, right? It's also a nation.
Right.
So even if the Chinese government failed and said we're going to become the government of Falun Gong, they still going to be in China.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And their influence goes to wherever they're at.
Follow me. This is China.
Right.
If you were born here, you're Chinese.
Right.
Under most circumstances.
Right.
You're Chinese. The language you speak is Chinese. That's where it differs for us. I don't have to worry about if I can consider myself to be an American because I was born here, because I'm a black man.
Right.
I'm American politically.
Right.
But I'm a black man ethnically.
And they don't give
you understand what I'm saying? Or racially, rather. Because I'm ethnically American, but I'm racially African American.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there are no languages called American like there is Chinese.
Right.
There are no specific races of people called American like there are Chinese.
Other than this whole side is American.
A diversity of races that can say they're American, but that because they're saying they're American does not have to come to the exclusion of who they may be ethnically.
Right.
I'm sorry, racially.
Right. Yeah, because South Americans, Central Americans, they're all Americans. Even Canadians are Americans.
Okay.
We're all Americans. Most people, when they say America, they think of the USA, though.
Hey, man, so check it out. If you was in Brazil, you could be Brazilian, whether you light skin or dark skin. But notice there's also, let's say something like a black Brazilian. What do you mean?
They all Brazilian.
You know what I mean? But notice how they're still making a distinction that this is not a race. This is a political designation.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
I follow you now.
Okay. So that's why I was listening to his first point. When he says if I was born in China, would that inherently make me Chinese? Or would I have to claim to be Chinese? I understood his question. I understood what he was saying.
That's cool.
I forgot the second part regarding bomb. I didn't see it. I didn't see all of that. But I forgot what I was saying, man. We were talking about earlier. I forgot
about
Oh, I guess the fall, man. Like
the fall and how the diversity of that so many things now
yeah,
are going on.
Yeah. So like you got a diversity of people. Like they have the right in air quotations, they have the right to protest the government, rebel against the government. They can take up arms. These are
the rules that were made.
You know, these are
in
rules.
our rules say we can go take this shit if we have to.
When you start having a lot of people that can take advantage of that,
right?
That's going to bring a level of violence to the society.
Right.
And the question is that level of violence, because we're seeing the kinds of violence and the amount of violence, is this an indicator that we're also on the fall?
Right. Or do we need to take guns away from us?
Or do we need to? And then now we're not American no more.
I know.
You just X'd out America.
You took our shit. Like, no,
you just X'd out being American.
You're not gonna have your come up against me and shit.
Like if you had a society, I mean this, y'all. If you had a society of American culture that was so large that they actually could vote in mass to where rule would be we would get rid of guns for the whole country. If you had a movement that large, you're looking at a totally different consciousness behind that movement.
Right.
And that movement, and at this point, America probably doesn't even look like what America used to look like before.
Right.
Because if you have a group of people, which we are, that are so large in number, where they are at odds, they're American, but they're at odds with some of the basic premises of America, like you have the right to bear arms, and that actually gets removed, you're dealing with a totally different mass consciousness now.
That may be where we're going.
I can see that.
Yeah, it might be where we're going. With all the changes that are happening right now.
I can see that.
It might be exactly where we're going.
Reason we're talking about Rome, man, because some of the things we had in common with them was the diversity.
Right.
They had the same diversity that we had.
Right.
Racially, not as much.
No, they didn't see it as much as that.
But you know what I mean? Like it wasn't. There's just race. Race wasn't a problem for them.
Because to them it wasn't no race. It was Roman or not.
Exactly. And if you was Roman, Flavian or not,
right.
Flavius, whatever name.
We don't give a damn. What you look like.
What family are you from? You know how Italian math or Italian mobsters do. What family you from? You know what I mean?
So yeah, it didn't matter.
Rules.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, man. They had the same challenges of some of the same challenges of diversity that we're having, which I applaud diversity. Right. But because of that diversity now, is that starting to change our society in such a way that maybe we'll go through an evolution or not. Son, did you guys know that America is named after Italian? Yes. A European? Yes. And the Afrikaners? Yeah. Afrikaners, he was the one that beat Hannibal in war. Why do we call ourselves African American? Okay, that's what's up.
Should be just American.
I feel you.
Because the political is saying that's what we're designated as. But yeah, no, but a lot of people don't know that. That's why that Columbus Day shit is they're trying to get rid of that because it was disputed. Columbus never came over here. That's why we're named after dude, not him.
Said, why disregard bloodline and take hold of the evil ways of our oppressors? Well, I think for all the evil, man, that was done to us, which I think was the single most horrific thing that could have happened to any group of people, period. While I believe that, I will say also that the mere fact that African Americans are still functioning in this society where they came here as property, treated worse than cattle. And now we've gotten to the point to where we are now, where we actually went to the head of the nation in Barack Obama. We're not talking about what he did or didn't do. And he did it in 400 years.
Right.
I am not nowhere near trying to identify with the racist institutionalization aspects of America. I'm not identifying with that.
Mm-hmm.
What I am identifying with is, hey man, black people in this country,
Mm-hmm.
it took us 400 years to do it. We went from less than dog to running the whole thing.
Right, right.
I identify with that.
Right. And it's getting more and more.
It's just that simple for me.
Yep.
If you need to know where I am from, I'm not from Uganda. I've never been there.
Right.
I can't rep Uganda. Not in terms of political assignment.
He from South Park.
I'm gonna have to recognize America.
Right, right. Right, or the United States.
And defend her sovereignty if I'm in alignment with this way of life.
Right, right. Sure
Even if I disagree with the institution, I still should protect her sovereignty.
That's right.
Because show me one more country above America on this piece of dirt called Earth,
right,
where the average citizen was afforded so many supposed liberties or rights.
Nowhere.
Every single person tried in a court of law under the Soviet Union was found guilty. That was against the state. Every single individual under the Soviet Union
that's crazy,
that was brought up by the state lost.
Right. They were up in the gulags.
In this country, no, it ain't fair, but it is an attempt.
Right. Right.
No, it's not fair. I agree.
Right.
But it is an attempt. I think it's the right step forward, to be honest with you.
We're good. We're getting there.
To really be honest with you.
And all that diversity and all that change, that's what's going to put it.
To really
that's
be
going
honest
to be,
with you.
like we said, it's going to change to something that was more of what it's supposed to be, but it's still going to be America.
I don't know,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? It's still going to be us. We're not going to change a lot of different
I don't
stuff.
know, because look at America. Like if you know, most people, like if you have a sense of history, like think about America in the 1700s. Think about what America looked like. Think about what the people ate. Think about how they dressed. Think about the people that was around. Like that's in your head, right?
That mindset.
Think about 1800. What did the people wear? What did they eat? How did they travel to and fro across the country?
On animals.
Okay, horses, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to 1900. Bam, we got cars, don't we? 1900s. We got cars.
Move a little bit faster.
We got space shuttles, rockets, iPhones, horse and buggies.
Went to the moon.
Okay,
went
to the moon.
Mars and shit, sent shit to Mars.
Trips to space.
We sent shit that's still out there.
McDonald's.
Right, right.
Popeyes, you understand?
Right.
Okay. Black billionaires.
Right.
Okay.
Sure enough.
Tell me America looked anything like it did in 1700.
Oh, hell no.
Welcome to the potential and the beauty of America.
Right. It can be fixed.
Welcome.
You know.
Welcome. You
know, let's really do what you wrote, because what you wrote is a beautiful thing,
because
man.
You wrote a good thing. Now how you act, how you did it,
you acted out right. You know, you wrote it. It was a good thing, but you performed it almost like communists and shit.
You know what I mean?
You know? Yeah, we could all have this. You know, you're gonna do this, but really, I'm gonna do what I fucking want. You know.
I mean, yeah. I reckon. Okay, so here we go.
Because I always say there shouldn't be no amendments to it.
Well, you got to.
Why? Everything there is already there. You shouldn't have to add something to it.
You got to make amendments. I'll tell you why. Because let's say like they may have a situation where Bill of Rights, like you have the right to bear arms, right? You got Bill of Rights, right? You have to have amendments because if you have individuals that still have access to guns, let's just talk about guns.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say this person here is a 30-time felon, killed a whole lot of people with a gun or whatever, or a knife or whatever. You got some violent deviants.
So now you can't just let him go to the goddamn store and let him buy a gun whenever he wants. Yeah, something like that.
You have to make
there's certain things you have to change.
You know what I mean? But you still have to stick with, hey man, every American has the right to bear arms. Yeah, whatever this amendment is, it has to fit in that framework.
Right. But if you fuck around, you can't have this one anymore. At least that one.
But that's okay.
You know.
So like they if we're talking about the fall, like there are people, man, in this country that believe that America is killing the environment.
Right. And we may be, but there's a lot of other motherfuckers doing the same shit.
There's some Americans that believe we're not.
Right. I don't think
and they really believe. I'm not saying one is right or wrong. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I. I don't want us to focus on that.
No,
What I'm saying is, and these are serious issues.
No, I
you
know.
look at it on TV.
Right. But that's where we're starting to see more of the electric car. They're trying to get rid of some of that pollution that we're.
That's how big the argument is.
That's what. So we're working on it. It may not be all the way there. So that's why they both got a point.
Whether they were working on the cars and doing so, or not working on the cars, they're coming from a thinking that we're harming the environment.
Right.
Because the way that we're doing it prior, like emissions test and all of that, we're harming the environment using this mode of transportation. So we still have to transport ourselves around.
We have to change it.
But we have to do it cleaner, right?
Right.
That's recognizing that there's a problem.
Right.
There are some people that don't believe there's a problem.
Right. It's like when there was just the train that was there for a long fucking time before they figured out to do other shit.
They say this, man, global warming been here way before us and worse than us. What are y'all talking about? We ain't doing nothing. Yeah. And can show you data.
That's what I say. That's what I say. If you're telling me that there's global warming, then why am I watching the news hearing that back in 1703 it was 150 degrees here in Houston, and today we just broke that record? So that means in that time the same shit was going on. It was the same shit. That's the earth that does what it does. We just got to worry about when Mother Earth wants to shake us the fuck off this bitch.
Hey, Lowe's, do you remember 2000?
We were supposed to be flying in cars and shit.
Do you remember who won the presidential campaign in 2000?
Won that homie, the brother, 400 years. I don't remember who won that shit.
George Bush.
It was, yeah.
Junior. Reason I'm bringing that up.
I don't give a
is
fuck
because,
about
well, let's transport ourselves. Let's travel back in time. Let's travel back in time. I do, courtesy of this government, because that's some governments don't want to let you believe have a faith.
Right. True.
See, y'all thought I was being funny.
No,
that's right.
So if your union wouldn't let you have that shit, you had to do what they did.
Courtesy of the government.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, man. If you go back to the year 2000, there was a time, brothers, where all of this, like Black Lives Matter, the LGBTQ movement,
Peter,
of course. Our society, as inundated as it is with all of those movements, in the year 2000, that's when everybody put their money where their mouth was.
Right.
Because what happened was there was a group of people that believed that Al Gore won.
Remember that? And according to what they said, he did get the popular vote, but not the electoral shit. So that meant more people.
The Republican Party started saying, no, there was allegations made that the Republican Party was discarding votes because they started finding them out in the water and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they're right, it happened, it didn't happen.
Right.
I don't even care who you think if he was a good president or not.
Right.
At that point, when Bush Jr. won, man, this country was deeply divided.
Right. That's when it started.
We were deeply
broke.
We were deeply divided.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time in my life that I saw two white people arguing with each other,
right,
fighting each other, not behind the black cause, the white cause, women's rights or what sex or gender you felt you were. They was fighting each other, and they was taking lines on, hey man, this Democrat versus Republican thing just got real.
Right.
And you started seeing stuff like Occupy Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the only thing that saved us at the time, if we was going to actually be heading towards a civil war, but it was going to be a social movement, 9/11 hit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like
9/11 hit.
That put us all back in.
That reset the clock on social upheaval.
Right.
That reset the clock on everybody trying to figure out.
We all the same now.
What's going on? You understand what I'm saying?
We the same.
It reset the clock on everybody's individual group agenda.
Right.
It reset it.
And now it's coming. Now we're getting back.
Here we are again.
Right. Plus, like you said, from the year 2000 and now, that's 23 years. We've done a lot in 23 fucking years compared to 2000 back. We've come a long fucking way.
iPhone wasn't even around at this time.
I know.
You know?
Who thought it'd be iPhone 14 and shit?
We dealing with Y2K.
You know, right? Dealing with, right, back then. And it was a big deal at the time. Like, man, them dudes were making a killing that knew how to program that shit. And they were so scared it was going to shut everything down.
I'm saying that, man, to say, man, like, you know, we've been having some serious disagreements, man. And I know we got to go, brothers, but we've been having some serious disagreements as a nation on multiple levels.
Right.
Brought it up as a question because I don't have the answer. I don't know. I really don't. But I do think we need to start listening to who we perceive as our enemy.
Right.
I think we need to start listening to our fellow citizens or neighbors, if that's better for you. I think we need to start listening to each other because the lines that we're drawing and the stakes that are there in terms of like the human cost, is there are civilians dying behind these independent movements and other people's ideology in this country.
Right.
You know what I mean? We just saw that LGBTQ club vandalizing and killed those innocent people. Yeah, they were innocent.
You would think 2023, come on, man.
But look at what we're dealing with. That's why we're having the conversation.
Come on, man. That's enough of that bullshit.
In this country.
I know, it's like, that's enough of that bullshit.
We're going to have to start having these conversations.
Right.
Because we're going to start having more of these conversations. We will be in a fall. Or are we just simply working out the kinks?
We're probably just working out the kinks. That's all we're going to do, you know, because we're not going to go nowhere. But anyways, we're almost out of time. Yo, son, I invite you to come on the show. Bring a topic.
Brother.
Bring a topic with you, man. Please come here. Bring a topic with you, and we'll discuss it. You know, so let us know what you want to talk about. But I do invite you to come here, be part of the show. Thank you for watching. Thank you all. Every one of y'all out there for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and share now. And make sure that, you know, that sharing, like I said, just blast it all over your social media. All you got to do is just send something, whatever it is, a picture of us, whatever, and let people come back to us. But anyways, yeah, I'm Brother Los.
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Black Hand.
Brother Black Hand on the cam as always. We're the Daily Smoke, and we're out. Peace.